Hi, everyone. Today we continue with our class, Neurographica with the help of essential oils. So happy that so much is going on around essential oils lately. A lot of people started to understand during this whole pandemic that they really need to look for alternative ways of boosting the immune system. And number one is fighting stress, because stress is the number one killer in the world. We know that. So a lot of people approaching me, they're asking questions, which oils better to use and how to use them and all of that. doTerra is the best brand. doTerra is the best brand. So if you consider getting oils, there is another one, Young Living, that is in competition with doTerra. But to be honest with you, my experience with Young Living, because I've got some oils from there, comparing to doTerra's oils, I fully believe that doTERRA oils are much better quality. That's my conclusion, because I like to try everything on my own. I like to make sure that um, I'm saying the right thing. I'm not just getting out of the air or because somebody said so. It's my nature. I like to try. And I've tried Young Living. They're not bad. They're not bad. They're good oils. But if you compare with doTERRA, there is no comparison. doTERRA is better, for sure. And I've been doing oils, trying them for different reasons, for allergies, for prevention from ticks when I go to the woods, when we go to upstate, where we have our property. Um, Definitely, I'm putting oils for that, against all the ticks and mosquitoes and other nasty insects that bother us during the summertime. I'm also using it for food as well, internally. Not all oils can be taken internally. So there is a book that doTERRA provides. And in this book, there is a full description on which oils can be taken internally and which oils cannot be taken internally. So just because the oils are organic and therapeutical grade, it doesn't mean you can take any oil and just start putting it inside. So that should be really researched carefully, looked in the book, and making sure that everything works well. So today we're going to be talking about basil. Basil is an amazing oil, I think, for springtime. It's just so refreshing, so beautiful. Let me just show you how it looks like. Basil oil, just like that. There is a smaller version. I've got the smaller one as well. Smells like heaven when you really, ah, basil makes me feel amazing because it's so springish. Like you go outside, you smell all these flowers, you smell all herbs and everything. Basil is just the king of all the herbal kind of like herbal oils. I love it. I personally love and adore it. And it is paired so well with lemon and grapefruit. If you are trying to make a salad, what I'm doing usually, um, I'm buying a bottle of olive oil, like a big bottle, just like that. And I put 1 drop of basil into this oil. And I put 1 drop of lemon into that bottle of oil. And then I shake it carefully, just like that. And I use it for a salad dressing. Smells delicious, smells like lemon, smells like basil. And together it is a beautiful combination. So, but I'd like to talk more about the property of basil. We're going to transfer it to my, I'm going to share my screen first, and then we're going to transfer it to the drawing board. Let me just do it quickly. I'm going to share. So take a look at the basil, right? I think the great property of basil is that it fights fatigue. When you have a lot of stress, when you are overly tired, when you low on energy, right? Basil is great for this. What I usually do, I just take several drops and I put it on my back. I just rub it on my lower back. Or I can just sit and um, take it and smell it just like that. Ah, ah, right away, it brings me up, wakes me up, gives me energy. Okay. And the basil, you see, like what I like about the description here, the smell of basil brings strength for the heart and relaxation to the mind. How beautiful it is. That's exactly what we need in this hard time when we're dealing with so much stress and unknown things that are going on in the world. It brings a lot of nervousness, anxiety, despair. We want to bring basil at this time because basil is the excellent herb that fights all these negative emotions. And we have this habit to think negatively. Why? Because negativity is something that is so easy. It's so easy to be desperate, anxious, than to be uplifted and happy. In order to be uplifted and happy, it takes a lot of efforts. But anxiety and kind of like low mood and depression comes easy because we're naturally prone towards the negative reactions. So basil really is excellent for this. And here you also can see negative emotions, anxious, overwhelmed, drained, exhausted, negative habits, positive property. That's exactly what it brings you: energized, renewal, rejuvenation. You feel immediately rested and strong. That's why it's so important to have basil in your collection of oils. And here, what it pairs well together with: wild orange, peppermint, serenity, grapefruit, cumin, digestion, red mandarin, pastance. I do it with lemon when I put it on my salad as a dressing. Fantastic. Even though it's not listed here, you can use grapefruit instead. I do have a grapefruit here to show. I'll show you when we switch to the drawing board. So you can just inhale, you can diffuse it, put a couple of drops on your hand and rub it. You inhale, like do whatever it takes in order for you to bring your adrenal glands back to normal, right? Because anxiety and depression affects adrenal glands. We know that. So here it says topical: apply 3 5 drops over adrenal glands, lower back, or at the bottom of your feet in the morning and before bed. Okay? And you can take it internally as it says. You can put it under tongue or in water. Well, I would say don't do in water, only if you're diffusing, right? But if you're digesting, really, if you plan on taking it inside, do it with some oils. It could be coconut oil if you're using it for dressing, or it could be like olive oil, grapeseed oil. That would be okay to have just 1 drop, guys, not to overdo it, because if you overdo it, your salad's gonna smell very strong. 1 drop is good enough, and you're gonna have very subtle smell of basil. And if you add lemon, you're gonna have very subtle smell of the lemon oil. All right. So, and why are we doing basil today? Why are we talking about this? I'm gonna show you very good technique today in order to bring your energy up, because basil is all about um, healing our adrenaline glands and bringing back energy and excitement and kind of like contentment. That's what we're looking for. And in Neurographica, we also have this technique. Fantastic technique. So easy, guys. Maybe some of you who are attending my class, you guys already tried it and it worked for you. But I can't stop repeating it. Can't stop because it's so easy. And it works just like that immediately. Okay, so why don't we now switch to my drawing board, and we're gonna be working more. Let me just show you the grapefruit oil right here. Grapefruit smells delicious, really cheap. Ah, it's a cheap oil. It's just like pennies, really like $10 something. I don't remember, but it's really cheap. And the lemon oil. Ah, lemon oil is good for cleansing as well. If you have some organic um, cleaners for your house, if you do a couple of drops of lemon oil there, oh my God. First of all, the smell is improved. Second, it really cleans better because lemon is known for the cleansing properties inside and outside. All right, and you know what, guys? Today I'm going to be using this color palette, right? In order for us just to feel this beautiful combination. Imagine you could try to do all three: grapefruit, basil, and lemon. One drop of each oil in your bottle. Like it has to be like a full bottle of salad oil. It could be olive or grapeseed, as I said, and try that as well. Why not to experiment? I'm always experimenting with my oils. And I'm going to be using this palette today as well. So when it comes to Neurographica, what can we do to overcome fatigue? What can we do in order to overcome anxiety? Or maybe you feel other way around. Maybe you're not anxious, but you feel depressed. You feel like you don't have energy. You feel like you're exhausted. You just want to drop on your bed and sleep and maybe even go under your blanket because the world is a dangerous place to live. A lot of people feel nowadays like this. Guys, I'm not just saying it out of the blue. I have my clients, I have my students, I have my private clients who work with me on this, and they share their deepest fears. They share their deepest kind of anxiety about what's going to happen when the country is going to be open. They kind of scared to go out. They scared to face the world after whatever happens. But we really, what we're trying to do as artists, as coaches, as teachers, we are trying to calm this anxiety. We really want you guys to feel amazing. We want you to feel great. Absolutely. We don't want you to feel anxious. We don't want you to feel like that's it, it's the end of the world. Okay? We don't want you to feel this way. That's why we're doing all these classes. And we're doing a lot of free work right now because we understand that a lot depends on your own perception. If you change your perception, guess what? You're going to change everything around yourself. Everything. Absolutely everything. Regardless of the circumstances. Absolutely regardless. We are creating our own circumstances, by the way. All right. So the technique that I want to show you, the one that I'm using when I really need my energy to go up. Um, I'm using something very simple. I'll show you. You can draw with me. It's a little bit more art than Neurographic itself, but it works amazing. It's amazing. So let me just show you what I'm doing. And you can repeat after me. As I said, I'm going to be using all the colors of basil and grapefruit and lemon. That's what I'm going to be doing today. And that's what I want to do here. They're going to be my primary. You know, I can add some accents with some other colors, but they will be my primary colors. All right. So if I don't feel uplifted, if I feel tired, exhausted, I would just take a large, you see, like we do have like a smaller albums that I usually recommend, and it's about just the half size of that. We are also using our notebooks, like I've got one black one and I've got mine like this one. I'm not really focusing on the size most of the time, but in some cases, size does matter in a way that how we're going to feel. If we draw on the small one, we're getting kind of partial effect here with this practice. So I would definitely advise you to use larger pad in order for you to feel the effect of this practice. All right, guys, you could just watch me for 2 minutes and then you can start doing it, okay? We're going to be drawing circles. And for my teacher, Pavel Piskarev, what he's saying that the ideas of circle partially came from fireworks, because when we watch fireworks, we see kind of like beautiful multicolored circles going into the air, and they're sparkly and they're beautiful and they're so enchanted. So we kind of want to repeat the effect of fireworks here. We really want to have a sense of fireworks. What does it do to us? Just think about it. Imagine, you can even close your eyes if you want for a second and just think about that you're going to see fireworks. And then it starts with the big boom, right? A boom, boom, and then all of a sudden we see all this sparkling circles coming out, and everyone is like, wow, whoa. No matter how you may feel exhausted, fatigued, but once you see the fireworks, guess what? You feel happy, enchanted. It's so exciting with the big sound, like boom. My teacher is saying, "Tadish, tadish, tadish, tadish." It doesn't really matter what sound, as long as it's exciting, as long as it's uplifting. You can create your own sound. Dun, dun, right? Doesn't matter how it sounds. What matters, what we see after that. We see all the sparkling, beautiful fireworks, a salute, right? As we say, it's just so beautiful, and it brings us immediately up. And that's what we want to repeat here. So I have multiple colors. You can use any colors you want, guys. I'm not obligating you to use my colors, but if you'd like to try this combination, I'm okay with that. Totally fine. So I'm going to start with orange. Here's how I'm doing it. First, I kind of like, I touch my pad and I feel what would be the best place to start, okay? And it's usually somewhere towards the left or somewhere towards the center. It doesn't matter, right? Here it really doesn't matter. And then I start drawing, look how I'm doing it, guys. I'm drawing my circle in a way that it is a circle. It's just a thick circle. And I'm using a pencil for this. I'm not even using marker. That's why I said it's not going to be 100% Neurographica, classical, but it will be like 95% Neurographica with the 5% of the art element. And then I continue and I want to draw circles of different size. Look how I'm doing it. I'm not creating a mess. I'm not creating spirals here. I'm creating beautiful circles, just like that. Look at that. Now I can take another color and I'm going to go over, and I can go to the left, to the right. Doesn't matter how you do it. It really doesn't matter here because they're not spirals. They're circles. When you do spirals, then it matters. But when you do just circles, just like that, it doesn't matter. Look at that. How beautiful. Whew, right? Let's bring up the energy of firework right here. Just like that, guys, just like that. And I'm prepping it. I'm bringing some lemon. I'm bringing grapefruit color. I just want to prep it for my basil to come in. Look at that, okay? Immediately, fun, beautiful colors. It's fun, guys, isn't it? So, by the way, I just want to mention that we do have a chat at the bottom of the screen. You guys can start adding your questions. We're going to review them after the class. Try different colors. Try different, I mean, yeah, you could try different colors, but also try different size. Do smaller circles, do bigger circles. Change it, right? So now the basil comes. Yay, basil comes. I want to challenge myself with the size of the circle. I made it really big. And think about fireworks when you're doing this. Or think about the basil smell. If you already have this oil, you can think about the basil smell. You can even get yourself inspired by opening a bottle and sniffing on, oh God, I'm inspired, guys. I don't know how about you. And here's my grapefruit. Ah, it's amazing. My circles are really representation of how I feel when I'm sniffing on my oils. And the goodness about this is they are absolutely healthy and they absolutely organic, therapeutical grade oils that can be used for food. Those definitely can, the ones that I'm showing you. Okay? And we continue. And for you guys, it is a fantastic exercise to see how well you can draw circles as well. you really, you see, like I've done like a little problem here, but it's okay. It's okay. I can leave it like that because we're going to be working with markers as well here. We can do that. But we are trying to get as close to the circular shape as possible. Okay. And I'm doing another one. And you notice how you feel, guys. You notice how you feel. Notice that. How does it make you feel? All these colors and the smell of the oil. If you have one, when you're gonna, if you don't have one and you plan on getting, when you're gonna draw your circles, put a diffuser up. I do have a diffuser in the house, and actually I'm diffusing basil right now. So you could definitely try that. And try different size of circles. That would help you out to get used to drawing circles as well. Because people telling me, how how do you draw the circles? Like your circles look so round that they look so beautiful. Guys, practice. Nothing else. Here the lemon comes. Look at that. The yellow. It's all about practice, practice, practice. How people play piano or any other instruments. They practice. Same here. We just need to get the habit of drawing, if not every day, but every other day at least. When you get in this habit, then believe me, your life is going to change 100%. My life changed just like that 3 years ago in March when I got introduced to Neurographica. And actually, it's interesting. I've started with circles because I really wanted to make sure that my circles look really nice when I'm going to be drawing my neurographic drawings. So I've practiced on circles first. Look at that. Yay. Lemon. Lemon. So summery even, right? Today the weather is gloomy in New York. And yesterday was a beautiful day and I spent a lot of time outside. And I was meditating and doing my breath work as I usually do, but sitting on the porch, that was a really nice way of doing it. But today is gloomy, but how can you consciously get yourself out of the gloomy state of mind, right? And stop being worrying because I don't know how many of you know, but vibrations of our earth is going to be accelerated in the Aquarian age. And we are right there. We're probably going to witness this acceleration, fighting the dark forces and coming back to the Aquarian age. And that's all what it's all about. And it is essential for us. Stop thinking negative thoughts. Stop, really. And we can do it. We can do it using different means. I'm doing some other yellow with a little bit of greenish color inside. I don't know if it shows. No, it doesn't on the camera, but I can see it. It's okay. It doesn't matter. So what I was saying, guys, that you can totally able of raising your own vibrations. And for this, you just need to practice oils, Neurographica, any beauty, any art will bring your vibrations up. Speaking of art, we are planning to have Neurographica America's conference pretty soon. We think of either the end of May or beginning of June. So we are preparing like really beautiful um, conference for you for the whole weekend. I will give you details later when I know more about the timing. See, like I'm bringing accent colors. You can do as well, whatever you wish. It's more like a grapefruit, but darker color. Beautiful, lovely. You just note for yourself, how are you doing when you're drawing the circles? Circles are so essential because they primary for Neurographica. They are. Yay. You see, just like that. And if you see that your circle is not really close to the circle shape, you can always correct it by adding more on certain sides. It will never be perfect. That you also need to remember. Why? Because we're doing it by hand. It's not a compass that we're using, right? Look at that. It looks like fireworks actually now. And if you add sound to this, right, you may even put the sound of fireworks if it's going to help you to get in the mood for this. But you see how easy, you don't have to do anything. There's no psychology. Psychology comes here with the color, right? With the smell of good oil smell. That's where psychology is. But nothing else really. Everything else is about creating beautiful art. It's about beauty. See that? Just like that. I want to do the small one here to balance things out. You really need to balance out the composition so it doesn't go this way more or that way more. Try to make it more like, if your composition is like coming from the left to the right, like circular, just like that, then you stay with this. My composition was just to go all over the place, and I'm staying with this as well. So make sure it looks good on the paper. It's not moved to left or the right. It has to be centered. Okay, I think that's enough. So what can you do here? What can you do with all the circles? Um, Let me see. I want to think as well. You know, we never getting prepared in advance for this practice because otherwise it's losing the meaning. So I am taking my coral marker and I'm going to be just going just like this. Look at this neurographic line that goes around. See what I'm doing? I'm not doing the actual circle. I'm putting neurographic line, and it has to look neurographic. What we don't want to create, we don't want to create like this, right? It's not neurographic. We really need to do it with control. You can even do several times. So it is neurographic. It should look like neurographic, not like something you do randomly, okay? Try it. For you, it's a good way to work through your neurographic line. Is your line looking like neurographic line, or it looks like random something? It should not be like that. It should be neurographic. That is the best way to check against how your line looks like. See, definitely neurographic. It's not just a random going creating patterns around my circles. I don't want any patterns. That's why my line is like totally out of patterns. See that? It's very visible. We don't want any patterns here. We want to really create something unique. And look, everything all of the sudden looks so different. It does. Brighter. It adds vibration, right? Before there was just a circle, but now we're getting vibration coming through neurographic line. So if you practice this, see if you can, as I said, put the sound of fireworks, because that's what's going to give you kind of like get in tune with the vibration of fireworks. It will give you this feeling. And I'm doing now my orange one. It looks yellowish here, but in reality, it's orange. Camera really is not showing 100% the colors. And usually what we do in Neurographica, we're rounding with the lighter color. Remember the rounding, lesson number 1 and all other lessons? We really need to round things together. We know that when in Neurographica objects are crossing, they need to be rounded. And what I'm doing here, I'm rounding together with the lightest color. Well, there are speculations about this. if you ask me what would be the best way of rounding, I would say use both colors. Use, let's say if I'm doing it with green, then I would say the green and yellow together. I'll show you. I'm just giving you options, guys, how you can handle it. And for you, as long as you feel that things are integrated, like inside, people who gain experience with Neurographica, believe me, they know when things are integrated. And rounding is all about integrating all components of the drawing into one neurographic pattern. That's what it's all about. Here, you could certainly feel the difference. When you're adding the line, look at that. It's totally, it's like glow. It's glowing now. Totally glowing now. So I personally, my preference is to integrate both colors if they're crossing. I'll show you, like, let me do whatever I'm doing because I need to finish it. And then I can show you how you can integrate using two colors. Although only few neurographers doing it. Mostly people integrating with the lighter color. Sometimes it works, you know. I integrate with the lighter color and then it really works for me as well. But in some cases, I need to do both. You will know when you gain experience in Neurographica, believe me. You don't need to really now to decide what's the best way for you to do this. For now, we just integrate with the lighter color, meaning round with the lighter color, right? You see, now it glows. Basically, this yellow became really beautiful, extremely glowing, just like that. I hope your work looks good. We're going to check your work at the end. But try, right? It's an art. We are getting into artistic mode here. And what you can do, you don't have to really go and use neurographic line over all the objects here. It creates kind of like a 3D effect, right? Or you could do with everything what's there. I'm not sure if I want to emphasize basil is kind of the green went on the background, and I'm not really sure if I want to emphasize it because right now I'm getting this 3D effect kind of, right? Certain things coming up and everything else is the background. I guess I'm going to leave it just like that for the artistic purpose. You really need to like what you're doing. If you don't, then we have a problem. Really, and here we don't need to round 100% because it's not per se Neurographica. It's an art more than Neurographica. But if you'd like to, you can do it. So now, what if you need to round lighter color with another one? Here's what you can do. You can first put one which is darker, right? Like here, let's say. I can put it like that. And then put the yellow on top, lighter color on top. You could do that. You see, it gets better rounding. It gets better. It's more integrated in this case. But in this drawing, I don't feel like doing it, right? When I'm doing Neurographica, probably I would go with this solution, integrating both components, both colors, but not right now. I don't feel like doing it. All right, so we're moving forward. Now we need to add lines. You can do it with a marker, or you can do it with a pencil, which is totally okay to do. We could do it with the pencil. Let's see what we're gonna get. Let me see how this one looks on camera. It's good. Let's do it on pencil, right? Today's the artwork. I want everything to be kind of like multidimensional. At the same time, I want to get the softness and the feeling that everything is like kind of light, just like basil. Basil has strong smell, but at the same time, if you just add a little drop of basil, it's just it gets to the level of being subtle and being like just an accent. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. So I'm choosing pencil for my neurographic lines. Look at that. Ah, lovely. Soft. You see, it's soft. It's barely visible even. And your lines can go anywhere. Here's your firework. Now you're activating your firework. You're activating it together, creating all this beautiful balance. And it goes for all my lines, all my circles. It goes, you see that subtle smell of basil? That's what it is. Ah. And if you would have a diffuser on your drawing table, you would feel it. It would inspire you to do this. Softness, artistic softness. Pavel likes, my teacher Pavel, he likes to use markers for this. And me too. I mean, if I'm doing Neurographica, I would never go with pencil. Why? Because pencils are very easily, can be kind of like smooshed. When you start coloring specifically, they're losing the quality of Neurographic line. That's the main problem with pencils. But for artwork, I can do whatever I want. I can even add glitter here if I want, okay? And we do have one lady who works beautiful with glitters. Her name is Olga Chemlina. And Olga is, she's got her free group, Glitter and Glow, I believe that's the name. Whoever is interested, just write to me. I will introduce you to her. And what she does, she teaches how to work with glitters and um, some colors, some painting colors, things like that. She's really good at this. And together we've created one beautiful masterpiece, I think. At least I see it as my masterpiece called Eternal Bond. I have it on my wall. It's just a different technique. I haven't seen anybody using it, but for your fireworks, it would be amazing. So I want to do my rounding as well, just with this color. You can draw as many lines as you want. Remember, the quality of neurographic work depends on the quantity of the lines. Here we do art, so it's up to you. But if you're doing neurographic, I just want to remind everyone, it's important to remember that the quality of your work will depend on the quantity of neurographic line. Why? You see how cute, how you see we have little bubbles now here when we're rounding, little bubbles. And you may want to color or may not because you already have accent color. Like I would not color this because it would ruin my work. But if you feel like coloring or maybe adding more accent colors, I strongly suggest doing it if you feel like that. But if you don't. It's up to you. Totally up to you. Sometimes we really need time to kind of like get away from any hard work that we put on ourselves during neurographic practice because we are really rewiring our brains to think and feel in a different ways. Here, it's more fun. We want to have fun. We want to enjoy, indulge. And that's what it's all about. Indulging on the beautiful smell of essential oil. And the quality of this drawing is really reminding me the quality of basil because I'm adding all these lines in green, like a basil kind of color. And right away, like my mind goes towards the smell. And smell plays a huge role in our life. Think about things you loved to eat when you were a child. right? Maybe some certain ice cream or certain candies. And think about when you go somewhere and somebody somehow would have that smell in the house, like a cinnamon, baked cinnamon products, right? All of the sudden, like maybe it's a candle or same candies that you like to eat when you were a child, or ice cream maybe that you liked a lot. And that smell sits with us forever. And you're like, oh my God, that's my childhood smell. That's why we have comfort foods, because it brings us back to our childhood times when we were so secure, so happy. So smell plays a huge role in our lives. We don't realize it sometimes. We take it for granted. And I know a lot of people who got coronavirus. They reported back to me. They said that they lost the sense of smell and taste. And that was the most horrible thing for them. And when it came back, it totally changed the quality of their life, because we only can appreciate things once we're losing them, right? Otherwise, we take for granted. All right, so I can smell, but what else is new? But when we're losing it, then we totally can see how much the sense of smell plays in our role, in our life. It plays huge role. That's why here we are showing our appreciation for this beautiful combination of basil and grapefruit and lemon all together. Pink grapefruit, right? That's what we came up with the pink grapefruit. And again, guys, if you're interested in oils, purchasing oils, just come to people who invited you to watch this video or to the class, because this video is going to be published on my YouTube channel. It will be published there, and you can watch it in recording. Also, I have to express my appreciation to Ina Colton and Natalie Harris for inviting me to participate in this series of essential oils together with the art with Neurographica. So it's fun. I think it's a beautiful idea. I really don't want to give up this idea. I feel like going on and on and on with this, seriously, because it's so beautiful. And I enjoyed the process myself. So for me, it is as enjoyable as for you guys. So don't think I'm working here. I'm having a lot of fun as well together with you. And you don't have to really round everything, right? You don't have to. Just do it at the point where you are saying to yourself, I'm getting it. I'm getting enough of this. Okay. Look, isn't that beautiful? And we could definitely add some accent. Like, let me show you so you have an idea what you can do here. You can basically take in the same pencil, right? Look here. I don't know if you can see it well. Let me just, you can add like some accent just like that. You see this? Some accent. You can take yellow, add some accent somewhere else. Just like that. You don't have to even color the whole thing, right? You can just add accent here and let's say there, right? You see? Right away it looks like kind of like shiny, beautiful, some pinkish. Well, I'm doing just adding some accent. So just for you guys, so you understand what I'm doing. See that? Here I can just do some shading. Just like that, you could do shading. light, really light, nice, like essential oil itself. And that can go on and on and on, guys. Just imagine putting it on a large scale, like if you want to do an art project, putting it on the large scale would be amazing. Put it on the wall later, right? Just think about it, how beautiful it might be. And if you add some other components, some artistic components here, it can really grow into like beautiful project. See that? So the more you go, the more you want to add, right? Because now you have to balance things here. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but for you guys, you can stay and continue working on this until you feel satisfied with the whole process, just like that. You see that? Now, with the lines, with the filled lines, you could certainly add filled lines if you'd like to, but not necessarily. It's an option, so you understand. You don't have to do it here. So, but I'd like to. I always add my filled lines. That, just to remind you, they lines that go from one corner to another. They have a really huge electrical charge. They're called field lines. They can cross. It's like a high voltage wires. Think about this way about them. They bring the power to your drawings. And in the beginning, people have a lot of resistance towards them because they feel like, oh, it's going to ruin my drawing. But, you know, it comes with time. For me, there was also like this. I hated them in the beginning. But then later, I really started feeling them from inside out. Now I always add them. But you have to understand they're optional. They not necessarily needed to be added anywhere. And they don't need to be rounded everywhere, just a little bit. Just like that. Okay, guys? So that would complete the lesson. Let me go back to questions answers session. Hey guys, I hope you've been drawing with me. You can unmute yourself, show me your drawings, and tell me how you felt during the drawing. Who's gonna go first?
Hi.
Christina. All right, let me see.
It's a lot of orange and yellow.
Oh, yeah, now I see much better. Very beautiful. Beautiful, Christina. You got it. How did you feel when you were?
I feel very well.
Right? Because of the circle.
Will do orange because I already have in the house.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's beautiful. I love it. Totally, totally beautiful. Who else wants to share?
I can share.
All right. Let's see. Keen.
Well, I just, you know, I'm still in process.
It's okay. As I said, you don't have to use the colors that I'm using, but your circles look really, really nice. Very nice. How did you feel during the drawing?
Actually, before we started the lesson, there was something that I did that kind of made me very, very stressed out.
Oh God. And
right. And that kind of even, I don't know, I think it kind of even brought that stress out even more.
Oh, really?
Yes, and right now I have this like palpitation inside of me, like crazy, like anxiety, I think.
So okay, so if it really like immediately you said like so you had like a big
No,
sweat.
the feeling came over me before we started the class, because I
Yeah,
was
right,
doing
right.
something that was, out of my comfort zone. I was supposed to make,
Okay.
like a video of something, and for me to make a video of something and then release it to any social site is very, very stressful. So I was trying to do that, and it kind of gave me a lot of stress.
Mm-hmm.
And right after we started drawing, and that stress, it was like all I could think about, and it gave me even more stress.
So
So
here's what I would suggest, right? If something like this happens to you, okay, because a lot of people would transition when they doing this kind of work. You really what you want to get in this work is the fireworks effect.
right,
When you are stressed and then you see firework and you're like, wow, okay. If that didn't happen to you, what I would suggest next time when you draw the circles, drink something, drink maybe peppermint tea
right,
or
right,
chamomile tea to bring the energy down so you're not like shaking, stressed, right? Try to do this. And then maybe breathe a little bit, maybe meditate a little bit, and then try to do circles and see
right,
what happens. Because circles, even the shape of the circle is about being rounded, is about being happy. Let me switch to myself so people see what I'm saying. So the whole idea of the circular shape is to bring you back to the roundness, to completeness. Okay, that's why we're not doing triangles here. We're gonna do triangles for you guys at some of our future lessons when we're gonna do different oils. Here, the circles are all about bringing you back to rounded shape,
right,
to a calmness, right? And then we're adding all this firework effect to bring the happiness up together with the circles. So if you have adverse effect, like Ina had,
I wouldn't
again,
say it's not an adverse effect. Maybe it's just I didn't finish it. Maybe by the time it's gonna be done,
okay,
I feel more comfortable. But it just kind of it brought that feeling. I shouldn't have
that's fine.
started doing whatever I was doing before
Okay,
the class, but I already did, and I was already hyped up.
that's
And
totally fine. I'm not concerned about this, Ina. That's why we're experimenting
right,
and
exactly,
seeing what works for us, what doesn't. So I again, if you guys have an anxiety, first try to bring the energy down, right? The anxious energy down. Peppermint tea is a cooling tea. You really need to do cooling stuff. Peppermint, chamomile, it's
right.
beautiful. Also, you could use lavender, right? You could just sniff on
Adaptive.
lavender.
I'm I'm
Yeah,
I'm planning on using adaptive actually.
adaptive is the best. If you
Right,
ask me, guys, adaptive, you want to bring your anxiety down, balance, right? Also, excellent. I put it on my feet, I put
right.
it everywhere, brings me to balance immediately. Adaptive is the smell is like heaven, seriously, because it's
Yes,
a combination of multiple oils. And lavender. Lavender is amazing as well. Okay, bring your energy down. Then you can bring it up in a positive way with some time. Uh, Smelling basil oil. It's going to bring the energy up and then
right,
do the circles and the lines and all of that. You could try that. See how you can use multiple ways of approaching to your mental state,
right.
combining all of these ingredients. And then, like for me, circles, no matter how I feel anxious, I feel down, circles bring me up immediately in a good way. Maybe because I'm trained this way, maybe because, you know, I don't experience so much anxiety anymore. You know, with all my practice with Neurographica, I came back to the point where I feel so much balance and so
Mm.
much content. It's very hard to bring my levels of anxiety or anger up. Very difficult. That's why maybe for me, circles always work. But for you guys and for everyone who's watching it in a recording, I would suggest experimenting. Okay? If you're getting more anxious just because you're drawing circles, stop, get away, drink your tea, come down, meditate, do your breath work. You know, breath work is excellent. I do my own breath work. Everyone has a different way of breathing, right? There are a bunch of breathing techniques on the internet. You don't have to go to gurus. You don't have to go to anywhere. Try whatever works for you. And sitting, breathing, meditating, drinking cooling teas is the best way to deal with this. Okay? And then drawing. Okay, Ina, maybe you want to show me your drawing?
Wow.
Right. Wow,
Awesome.
beautiful colors. So
Thank you.
one suggestion to you, when you are putting neurographic line around the object, watch for the spikes. I see a lot of spikes, not curvy. You know what I mean? So you really need to watch that your line goes smooth and curvy. It has to be
Okay.
smooth. Don't rush, because lots of people doing like this. Let me switch towards myself.
Okay.
What I see a lot of people go like this, quickly. That creates spikes. You really need to go like this around.
Okay.
Like that, make sure they're curvy. When we rush and do spikes, it only creates more anxiety, and we don't want this more anxiety. We want to come back to roundness and smoothness. That's the idea. Okay. Otherwise, it's
Thank you.
beautiful. It's just you need to practice.
Thank you. I
Sure.
need to practice more because to put circles for me just like not easy. If you will look at my pencil stuff, I needed to fix it. Like I was actually very calm trying to make it really round. It did not make me kind of angry or something. I
Very
think it was
good. Very good.
and relaxing.
Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
When you round, you do these bubbles, and I try to understand these techniques because I knew, and I'm very, very thankful to you because I understanding more about lines. I really need to work more on the lines. I agree with you totally. Thank you for your input. How to learn more about lines?
We're gonna do it with the next lesson.
Okay.
What I'm planning on doing, I'm gonna show you how to do bubbles, those little cute bubbles as I have on my drawing. And we're gonna work on lines. I have a feeling that a lot of people, even experienced neurographers, even people who already completed level 1, they would benefit a lot of looking at various techniques, artistic, some of them artistic techniques, some of them techniques, um, you know, every teacher has their own technique, right? You'll probably experience people who know different teachers, they know that everyone brings something else. But Pavel is, the way Pavel is drawn, my teacher, nobody can draw like him. Nobody, ever. His technique is just totally unique to him, and we could only try to copy the way he does it. And I believe because most of the teachers are females, the way he's doing is more like a male type of drawing the lines and rounding. And females, we are more refined. We like everything to be like very refined, very beautiful. So, but definitely, yes, it's a good point, Ina, that a lot of people need to learn more about shapes, not only circles, shapes altogether, and the lines and the rounding, right? Because rounding creates neurographic pattern. That's what it is. With the rounding, we know that what makes Neurographica work Neurographica is the rounding. I'm trying to find my work here. You see this? It's all about
Wow.
rounding. You see that? It's all about
Wow.
rounding, guys.
Wow.
See, how many bubbles here? How many lines are here, right? It's huge. If we learn how to do neurographic pattern, we are 75% there. Everything else is psychology. I'm trying just to find you. Like this is artistic as well. It has gold here. Gold. It's a multi-layered work here. It is a practice. That's my practice, guys. It was only for practicing the technique when I started. I was practicing with various colors, like this one, right? It's a practice. See this? Practice. You could practice, see how you're doing, trying different techniques, trying different ways of combining things.
Right.
But definitely requires more knowledge, requires more practical experience. And I would suggest if you didn't take level 1 of Neurographica, you should take that. It's not expensive. It's it comes I believe right now at 180. It comes at 180, and you're getting your first level of certification, and you're getting 10 hours of full instructions on how to deal with emotions.
How to do this?
Why don't you talk to me, Ina? I'll talk to you.
Okay.
Are you connected with me on Facebook?
I don't know, but I can do it through Galina.
Oh yeah. Okay. We could definitely do that through Galina. Yes. So we'll talk about this.
I will
Okay.
also
Thank
give
you.
problem. It's okay. I can give you the name, you know,
Yeah,
Margarita.
or Ina can give it to you. Yeah. Ina can give you all the information and connect us, and we could work through this. What else I want to mention here? You can find me on YouTube, Amarna Neuroart. Let me just type it for you guys. Amarna Neuroart, bunch of free lessons on YouTube, and also you could send me an email. Oh, here how you can contact me. info@rewiredforabundance.com.
Margarita, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
See, this is, I already did the, you know, my blue. Is this the right way to do it?
Yes, 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 it's right. But Ina, one thing you need to watch out, you creating patterns. Look, they curvy, they're not spiky, but you're doing something that creates like a flower pattern. Look at that. It has to be no pattern, like neurographic line. Look at the line. It has patterns on your circles. Pattern, no pattern with neurographic line. No pattern whatsoever. We are getting out of the patterns.
Right, I'm trying.
Creating comfort zone, guys.
Can you please show your work closer again?
Let me do that. Let me actually switch to my camera, and let me pin it. I think it's all important questions, guys. Look at my line. It doesn't, it may be a couple of curves here, but it doesn't create pattern. Everything is different. No spikes, right? No pattern. What I mean by that, just want to take a smaller.
I'm gonna try to do it with the green now and see.
Yes, let me just show you quickly here, okay? Let's say you have a circle like this.
Right.
You have a circle, right? Here's what I see what Ina did. Ina, not to bring you down, just to give you.
No, I understand. Listen.
For education.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes.
That's how it looks like on Ina's.
Right. Okay. So how
do I show you the difference? How it's supposed to look like. And Ina, you know why? Because you didn't use neurographic line here. You just created this floral kind of line around.
Right, yes.
Making this looking like a flower. With control, You see the difference? It doesn't have that repetitive element. Everything goes like this, curvy. You see that? Here it's repetitive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of them repeat all the time. I don't have any repetitive here. Nothing repeats here. So different. You see that?
Okay, I'm gonna, yes, I understand. I'm gonna try to see, right, I understand what you're saying. I'm gonna try to do it now.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, guys, I have to finish the class, okay?
Right.
So let me just switch back to, you can show me, you can always send me your finished pieces when you complete. You know where to find me, info@rewiredforabundance.com. My YouTube channel, Amarna Neuroart. For oils, you come to whoever is invited you to watch the recording and ask me questions on Facebook. If you want to reach out to me, I am our Margarita. I'm Rita. That's how I go. That's my name on Facebook. Just like that. I wrote it in the chat window. So you could reach out to me, friend me, come to me, okay? And if you really want to learn Neurographic in depth, you have two options. Option number one, to come to my level 1. It's very comprehensive. I'm offering bonus classes with that. Whoever is buying level 1 right now, I'm offering 2 bonus classes with that. That usually go $50 each, okay? Or we have a program, Rewired for Abundance. Christina is on our program. You could consider this program as well. But for that, we would need to have a separate discussion because we're not taking just everyone to the program. We pre-qualify people. If you qualify, then we can discuss participation, okay? Level 1 is available for everyone, anytime. It's online, very easy to take.
Yeah, is this more like, is this the one, this is
You're
more,
getting better, but you need more practice, you know.
right?
Don't think that you can take it just immediately and learn and implement. Patience, you really need to go slow, right? If you're feeling anxiety right now, it's not the best time to do this. Better to do it when you're in a better state of mind, when you're not rushing the process. I see that you're rushing, all right? Okay, guys. So, my darlings, I'm happy.
One more question, small
Yes.
question. For example, for me, will you recommend to start over or try to fix it? Or because I think start over will help me. Like
Start over.
yeah,
Yes, start
start
over.
Okay.
That's fine. Start over. Absolutely recommend.
Thank
All
you
right,
very much, Margarita.
darlings, thank you so much for participating. I'm happy. Your work is great. You guys getting there where you need to get. Christina is my student. She's with me. She's attending level 1. She's also part of our Rewired for Abundance program. Congratulations. And she's doing fantastic in this program. All right, guys. Talk to you soon next week, same time. Talking about oils and Neurographica. Bye now.
Thank you.